Okay, what's up guys? Paul here with a new YouTube reaction vlog. So, if you're enjoying the commentary videos of late and all the other stuff that I have on my channel, travel, gym, music stuff, please hit the sub and like buttons, yeah, and continue to interact with the videos, yeah? Cheers. So, for today's video, we are going to continue with some Conor McGregor discussion and analysis because last night ESPN dropped their full 47-minute interview with Conor McGregor. Yeah, so you've probably seen already, if you're back on the channel, that I did an analysis of the 3-minute teaser they dropped on Saturday. Alright, so straight out the bat, I gotta get this clear. Mea culpa, yeah? Well, a semi-mea culpa, because I could only analyse what I saw in that 3-minute segment, and I saw, and I still do see in that 3-minute segment, a nervous and stuttery and edgy Conor McGregor. However, man, Helwani and ESPN did him dirty with that teaser, yeah, because it actually transpires that that's the only segment of the entire interview pretty much in which he comes across like that. For the rest of the interview, from the start to the middle to the finish, he was cool, calm and collected, smiling, laughing, relaxed. It really is the best we've seen him in a long time. Totally agree with all the stuff we've been hearing from his coach Sean Kavanagh and his SBG stablemates like Owen Roddy and the likes have been saying he's back, or it's like a new Conor McGregor 2.0. And he did speak very well. He wasn't stuttery and nervous and edgy, right? So I'm getting this straight out the bat. I don't have any agenda against McGregor, far from it actually. I originally was a big fan. Now, I'm like most people, I'm on the fence, waiting and wondering to see how he's going to evolve and if this is a true evolution, yeah? Again, just to reiterate, I saw an edgy guy in that clip. I don't know why they did him dirty like that with that clip. He looked all over the place. The very start of that teaser had him with this, he didn't know what to say. Anyway, enough about that. We should get into analysing the full interview, yeah? And in fact, we may have the reason as to why he came across edgy in the 3-minute teaser, yeah? So, first of all, let me just do a broad sort of takeaway from this interview, right? So, yeah, a calm and collected and happy man who's just out to fight with skills now. It looks like all the obnoxious and venomous trash talk has been parked away now. Like I think he realises that was self-destructive, especially how with Khabib it just worked completely against him. And I think now that he's a family man with 2 kids, this has matured him and just released a lot of that venom and all that brash braggadocio cut. My one chance to say that word correctly has been replaced with a relaxed, contented man. In fact, a man of God. Praise the Lord, because Conor McGregor is now, by the looks of it, a devout, praying man. He's found Jesus. Praise the Lord. Because that's one of my biggest takeaways. From a man who used to actually be almost contemptuous and derisory towards believers, like the way he mocked Khabib about, you mad backwards cunt, because he wouldn't drink alcohol due to his Islamic belief. And then also there was a previous example when he was in the press conference with Rafael dos Anjos, who was one of those very devout Brazilian evangelists who believes he belongs to Jesus, like Kaká and Neymar and a lot of sports people in Brazil. McGregor was really contemptuous about that. He was like, me and Jesus are cool, yeah? Gods recognize gods. In fact, that very quote.
He has no respect for anybody. And I'm just a single tool in Jesus' hand. And on March 5th, he will see, he will feel what a single tool in Jesus' hand can do with him.
Me and Jesus are cool. I'm cool with all the gods. Gods recognize gods.
Ignorant he was of religion. Jesus, of course, isn't a god. He's a fictional, bearded character from a fictional book called the Bible, but he definitely isn't a god in that he's the messenger of Jesus with these kind of quotes, coming across as just this really holy and zen man. When the sexual assault allegations came up, he said he would pray for those, and he, in the UFC embedded videos, he's saying a lot of God bless, God willing. In fact, you actually see him saying a prayer to his nebulous bearded deity Almighty up there after his sparring session. This is really interesting new facet of Conor McGregor's life, that he's approaching God and he feels like he's finding God. So let's get down to the interview and see what interesting stuff we can find, yeah? So yeah, we see a much more jovial, relaxed McGregor. In fact, there are shades of the early UFC McGregor, 2015, 2016. And he actually is acutely aware of that. You know, he's aware of the noise around people saying we want the old McGregor back. He says, you know, people are always saying they want them back, and I feel like I'm better than that now. And he's actually explained a bit of the process, that he actually went back and watched old footage of himself, the way he used to talk. Remember that whole mystic, magnetic Mac? I mean, that was just gone for the last couple of years, ever since he made the money. We know that narrative. It's interesting to see here that he knows that narrative, and that he became aware of that and made a conscious decision to get back on track and try to get back to be a bit of his old self, and new and improved, in fact, because, you know, he's older now, he's a father of 2 kids.
I'm not, I want to say back to who I was, but I'm even better than who I was. You know, everyone says we missed the old Conor, or the 2016 Conor, or the 2015 Conor, or whatever it was. But I feel I'm better than that now. I feel I'm mature. I've come full circle. I've experienced everything in this business, right? I mean, I'm just an experienced individual. I know what I need to do when I'm doing it, and I've
Go back and look at your early fights, even pre-UFC or early interviews.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, certainly. That's one thing that I've done, right? Because
recently?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I went back and listened to my old self. You know what I mean? What way I was thinking when I was, you know, everything was innocent. Like, everything was just, you know what I mean? Not what it is now, that helped me a lot. I was able to go back and see what way my way of thinking was then to the way it is now, and, you know, just add what is useful, discard what is not. You know, Bruce Lee quote, and that's what I done. And yeah.
It gives you motivation?
Yeah, of course. Gives me a motivation.
Do you even remember what that was like, being on welfare? You know, I was actually watching the documentary last night, the Notorious documentary, and you and Dee, your lifelong partner, are in like a tiny, tiny room in your parents' upstairs,
Yeah.
and you're both eating up there. It's insane to see that, and now to see, you know, what you've become. Do you even remember what that's like?
Yeah, of course. I stay close to my roots always. I stay close to how I came up always in my way of thinking. Of course, you've got to.
Yeah, because there's a part of you that could forget it, right? You have all this money, you don't know what to do with it. You're buying things whenever you...
So, the big question in the interview that everybody was waiting for with bated breath was the sexual assault question, yeah? Everyone was wondering if Helwani and the MMA media in general would have the stones to ask McGregor this question, given that he's their cash cow who they need to protect. If you believe the conspiracies by vloggers like Jason Burmas, who's highlighted that, you know, ESPN are linked with Disney and that they need to make this rumor disappear, well then, you know, you would have believed that Helwani would not ask the question, but he did. And in more direct terms than I would have expected, you know, they pretty much got onto it without actually saying the word sexual assault or the R word, yeah? I'm not going to say that on the vlog just for whatever, any possibility of libel. Because these are the accusations that have been made in 2 New York Times articles. If we're talking about the official reports, there's been a whole lot said in the rumor mill. But yeah, the New York Times have reported on it. In Ireland, an allegation like this means he cannot be named as an accused. It's just the laws surrounding sexual assault are different in Ireland, and some would say very archaic and outdated. So that's why we're not hearing about it in the Irish press, but the American media have been allowed to report on it. Anyway, Helwani did ask him, and McGregor's response was interesting. Here it is.
Alleged towards you. Is there anything that you want to say about these allegations that have been written about you, that have been said about you?
Look, just no. I can't say anything about this. It just has to take place, right?
Does it bother you that these things are out there, that people call you, names?
Would it bother you?
Yes.
There you go. But
so why not respond to them?
Time, Ariel. Patience. Patience is a skill we must master. Patience is one of the most valuable skills a human being must master, and I'm working hard to master it, and I feel I'm getting there. So, time will show all, and that's it. Right now, I'm focused on the bout, focused positivity, good thoughts, and I'll say a prayer for those who try and curse me or try and bring harm to me with these type of things, and that's it.
And as a family man, as a father, I mean, even things like, there was a story that came out, someone said that you were the father of their child, and then it comes out that you're not the father. That sticks to you, right? That has to hurt the family.
2.5 years that situation was going on for, so that was a tough one for a while, yeah, but it is what it is. It's just, there you go. It's not mine.
Last question on this, can you say, as your manager has said and your legal team has said, you deny any of these allegations that have been placed on you?
Of course.
100%?
Yes. Hell, Ariel, come on, man. You're serious, like. Time, please, just time, that's all. Time will reveal all, time will tell all, and then that's it.
So yeah, there we saw McGregor answer the sexual assault allegation question, which was directed by Helwani, in a roundabout way without saying it in exactly those words. But we all knew what he was referring to. It was quite an emotional response from McGregor. His voice became a little bit shaky and the tone lowered. He said, "Of course, I deny all these allegations." In fact, he looked almost aghast at Helwani, saying, "Come on, man, for fuck's sake." I mean, Helwani's just doing his job there. He was almost trying to look personally offended that Helwani would ask him that as their two OG mates. And he asked it pretty well, I suppose. People complaining that he didn't use the R word, that he only bet around the bush, really, didn't he, by saying a lot of things are being said about you. He didn't actually use the full terms of sexual assault which have been alleged against McGregor. Now, for McGregor's reaction, I'm not going to do any body language stuff for this. Yeah, took a bit of flack for the way in which I broke down McGregor's body language in the 3-minute segment. I think I did an alright job there, to be honest. Like, just looking at some general little body language stuff, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend to have any real insight into how truthful or otherwise McGregor or anybody would be when asked a tough question. Yeah, like, I know there are lots of different theories in the psychology world about, eye contact when it comes to telling the truth or telling a lie. But I'm not really going to go there. I'm going to have to plead the Fifth Amendment, because in terms of his response, I think it was kind of okay. Like, I think he reacted. I don't think you can read into it too much and scrutinize and say, oh, that must mean he's guilty or that must mean he's innocent. He did become emotional and his voice did become a little bit shaky, but you could argue that both ways. You could say that he was feeling emotional over, that he's innocent and that all these things are being said against him in the public. Khabib has called him a rapist, McRapist, on Twitter more than once. Lots of people are throwing that out at him right as Twitter and on his IG every single day. So if he was innocent, that would be really hurtful for his family and all to have to hear that stuff. But then someone who believes he's guilty would say he's only acting there and pretending. For me, I don't know, and I don't really want to go there too much because I just don't know. Like, I don't know what that response really meant. The interesting thing, which I said at the start, was that he's a praying man. Now, praise the Lord, and that, you know, God willing, God has all the answers. Patience. Again, sounding like Jesus, patience, Ariel, patience. He sounding like this, you know, wise old man sitting at the top of a mountain. He does look a bit older now, doesn't he, with the shaggied out beard. I was looking back on some old footage of him, and yeah, I think the shorter beard is more kind to him aesthetically. Looking a bit like Jesus with the grown out beard, isn't he? So yeah, he said, I just have to let that happen. Did that mean I have to let this go to court and I have to let this case fully go on? I'm not sure. We gotta wait and see. And then we got another interesting revelation in terms of his mindset and how he's approaching life now, when he revealed that Tony Robbins is becoming his life coach, more or less. They met at some stage last year when McGregor was invited out to his house, and I actually vlogged on that podcast and the whole bogus nature of the law of attraction. Both of these guys actually believe that if you visualize a car space, you'll get an empty car space. Yeah, like, I've done a whole video on how ridiculous the law of attraction is to me, and Robbins, I mean, he's got a litany of misdemeanors, hasn't he? He's been in a good bit of trouble, and not a guy I would trust to fucking with a pencil, let alone my life. Bit of a snake oil salesman, one of those classic like marketing gurus who's, I think it's $5,000 to go and see a Tony Robbins event where he has actually physically hurt a couple of people by just being this big intimidating bully. So yeah, not for me, Jeff. Not Tony Robbins. Like, I don't believe in any of that self-help mumbo jumbo. Most of them are just guys who are just pilfering and exploiting people who are feeling very vulnerable and feel like they need help. And that's for me what Robbins is doing. Do you know what I mean? I wonder how much McGregor's paying him per hour. And we got the best example of how refreshed and relaxed he's feeling when we got the signature McGregor laugh. You haven't seen him do that in quite a while, you know, because, I mean, you only laugh to the fullest when you're at ease, yeah. Like, laugh doesn't come easily when you're under such stress as he's been.
Wow. What did you make for Habib?
50 in a way.
Wow. 80. No one's ever made anything. Most MMA fighters combined haven't made that. Well done. Business is still good. Business is still good.
Of course, they think I'm toast, Ariel, but I'm still the bread.
That's right.
So he says the Khabib purse was 50 million, and that somehow the Cerrone purse is going to be 80. How could that even be possible? How could it be more than time and a half to fight Donald Cerrone now, in the position he's in now, compared to the position he was in against Khabib, and all the rivalry and narrative that was around the Khabib fight? I just don't buy that one. I don't buy that, you know. Alright, so then the interview moved on to another martial art called boxing. And here we saw another glimpse, just like when it comes to talking about Khabib, that McGregor still isn't the finished article with this self-reformation, that he still suffers with quite a strong dose of self-delusion, yeah. In the way he sees the Khabib fight is very much, you know, blinkered vision. And same with Mayweather. He's claiming that he was picking Floyd apart in the early rounds because of the way Floyd was approaching the fight in terms of style, that he was doing the Philly shell initially, and then he started to walk him down the Mexican style. I mean, that's a cute way to look at it for McGregor, and he feels that had the fight remained, had Floyd remained the same way, he would have beaten him. No, I don't see it like that. I think most honest observers would say Floyd was walking him through the first rounds and helping him out into his first boxing match, and when Floyd wanted to, he turned it on and ended the fight, you know. So I think the idea that he could beat him, but possibly if he just keeps letting Floyd get older and older and older, like into his 50s, then eventually he could beat him, but not for the next couple of years. I don't see how McGregor would beat him based on that first fight, you know. And then
someone else, it's not going to be the same. It's not. I done phenomenal. In that bout, and the only reason I lost that bout was because I prepared for a back-footed Philly shell style of opponent, and when the fight was like that, I was picking him apart. Then he came forward and started pressing, and I wasn't sinking into my shots like I am now with my boxing coaches under my belt that are drilling specific boxing things into me again. And I know I'd beat Floyd. I know I'd beat Floyd if we rematched. And when we rematch, he's not going to do a mixed martial arts bout like he said it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be me boxing, and then we'll do a mixed martial arts bout. That was what was said, and it came out of his mouth as well. And it was not written, but it was a verbal agreement, right? And obviously, that's not going to happen. And I'm not going to push him on that either. But I would like to box him. I think that would be a good rematch.
Have you even broached the subject?
So yeah, new age Conor McGregor 2.0 is a holy, religious, zealous man who believes that there is a theist, bearded deity up there intervening like in musical chairs and helping out your life if you pray to him. I personally don't believe that. I go along with the Johan Cruyff mantra that with the way football players pray before matches, this is a great one. If there was a God up there, then every single football match would end in a draw, yeah? The way I see it is, if you need to pray to a God, then why did he let you get into that position in the first place? You know, it's like he's sitting there waiting for you to pray. But hey, let's not go all Sam Harris on it. If it's making McGregor feel better and giving him a good reason to fight, that God is now by his side, then peace and love like McGregor, y'all. I ain't got nothing against that. Cheers for watching, guys, and let me know what you think of my analysis of McGregor's interview. Cheers. Alright, so in conclusion, to wrap up this analysis of McGregor's Helwani interview, it was good. I enjoyed it. McGregor came across very well, spoke impressively. Forget again what I said in the teaser video. He wasn't nervous. He wasn't stuttery. Only in that little mini segment. Perhaps because he'd been a little bit thrown off by the sexual assault questions. Yeah, they came just before that moment of hesitancy when he started stuttering a little bit. Doesn't mean he's guilty of those accusations. It just looks like he didn't anticipate being asked those questions in this interview, and maybe it threw him off a little bit and made him stutter and hum and ha a little bit. So again, yeah, this new age, praise the Lord, praying Conor McGregor, yeehaw, praise